What's good, guys? Cheers. I still can't get the camera angle just right, you know? It's like this side is more. Let me see. That better. Yeah. That'll wait. So anyway, y'all remember Belle Biv DeVoe, right? Like back in the 90s, Belle Biv DeVoe, BBD. Don't trust a big butt and a smile, that girl is poison. You remember that? Yeah. Yeah, boy, is that true. Cheers. So I'm not really sure what I'm gonna title this show, right? So this is like blind dating edition. I don't know what episode, right? So anyway, I get onto this dating app. And it's a Christmas present. So I decided to go ahead and do two of them. So I did Zoosk and I did Tinder. So just to see what all is out there. And of course the ones who come up right away, you automatically know what they're interested in. You know, which is fine for some people if that's what you're looking for, right? So anyway, what I get a lot of times, thank God for 20 questions, right? I mean, maybe, you know, I don't know. All right, let me start off by saying when I went blind was 10 years ago. So I was 35 years old. So and before that, the 5 years before that, so when I was like 29, 30, yes, I was wild, but I didn't go out every night. I was more, I would say, married to my job, right? Now, so here I am, fresh out on the market. I haven't dated in 10 years. So, and, you know, I just ask a few questions to start off with, you know, like, you know, mainly like, what do you bring to the table? You know, because every single woman so far, right, wants a man who earns 6 figures or more per year. Okay, so immediately you're taking 90% of the men out of the pool. Hey. So only 10% of men earn more than $50,000 a year. So, all right, so now you're only talking the top 10%. And then, okay, name me any product that is out on the market. Any product, right? That has more value with age and with use. So this one in particular was 41 years old, got 2 kids, and says she's an 8. Okay, you might have been an 8 when you was 26, right? Now, first, let me start off by saying, you know, if I were interested in having children, which I've never married, never had children, and I get a lot of kickback on this, is that, you know, I put in these things that I'm not interested in marriage, nor am I interested in raising your child or another man's children. So, because I'm not. I mean, wouldn't you rather know that up front? I mean, I would. You know, just like I let that known that I'm legally blind, visually impaired, but I still do well. You know, I let that known up front. Now, okay, back to the 41-year-old, right? This is, I mean, it's like, wow. So this 41-year-old thinks that she's an 8. Okay. Like I said, at the age of 26, you might have been an 8. And you got 2 kids. So subtract 2 points for each child. So now you, at best, you are 4, right? Then you tack on your age of being 41. You know, you can't have kids no more. I'm not saying it can't happen. However, the chances of complicated pregnancy and all of this and Down syndrome and all of these other, all of these other issues, as well as in a time of vaccinations and stuff where maybe I shouldn't have said that, but maybe, different complications come about because of some of the things that we're doing. I do believe that a lot of these kids, like I said, if I were wanting to have children, I'd be dating between the ages of 26 and 30. However, a lot of those people have been dished out so much medicine for ADD and ADHD. I don't think we still know what that has done to the population. A lot of it has been misdiagnosed. I mean, I'm 45, so, when I was coming up, we knew who the weird one was. We knew who the crazy one was. Okay? We didn't associate with them. And ain't nothing changed, It's like, now if I go to look them up, I'm sure they got a rap sheet a mile long. Which, okay, I'm getting sidetracked. So back to the 41-year-old, right? So you're 41, can't have no kids anymore. And you got 2 children by some other dude, right? Who ain't there, whatever. It's like, wow. You call yourself an 8. So subtract the 2 kids. Now at best you're a 4. And then subtract your age. I'd take a point off for that. So you're a 3. Okay. Then I ask, what do you bring to the table? Right? What do you bring to the table? Do you earn 6 figures a year? Because that's what they all want. They want more than they want. If you don't make 6 figures a year, it's like they want nothing to do with you. Or they might have some room to negotiate, right? No. Wrong. A man who earns that kind of money can do whatever in the shit he wants to do. Has that right. He's earned that. You haven't. So and then what do you bring to the table? So then I get your personality. Okay. How much does your personality earn? I own my own house. No, you don't. 41, I'm 45. I almost own my own home. I can purchase 2 houses right now in the clear in full. For other reasons, I'm not at the moment. For mainly tax reasons. So, because you think you put, say, you have like $20,000 or $30,000 worth of equity, because how many times did you refinance? Because for whatever reason, right? So your little $20,000 in equity, you don't own shit. on a $100,000 home, that's not even a 30% down payment. You don't own that. The bank does. Bank can call that loan at any moment. You got that to pay that off. You don't own nothing. And then, well, I'm a PhD. I didn't even ask that. That has nothing to do with a relationship. Having a PhD. I wasn't concerned with that. I was more concerned with what are your earnings, and you don't even make 6 figures a year, and that's what you want? No. So like I said, we started out with an 8. We ended up, to summarize it, we started with an 8 and we end up with a 2, right? And I don't mean a 2 with $8 million neither, okay? So that ain't a 10. I mean, and then, to top it off, these women, most of them have been in prison. So you can't even be in a house with a firearm. You can't even go on vacation overseas. I don't want that. I don't want a convict. And then all of these weird piercings and tattoos. I have no tattoos and no piercings. And you know what? I got away with more when I was younger with no tattoos and no piercings than someone who was all ganged up and all looking like that. I mean, you would then be super easy to target as far as to know, okay, you had a tattoo of this and a tattoo of that. And then, what is this with tattooing your face? What? Now look, if you got some sort of a skin condition or something, I can understand overdoing the tattoos on your body because of a skin condition. I can understand that. But no, no. And then I ask, like, what was the problem with your, or I didn't say problem, but why did you leave the last man you were with? Because most of them weren't even married. They got children but never married. So you have children out of wedlock. Okay, I don't believe in that. My parents did not raise me that way. I was not raised that way. It takes a man and a woman to raise a child. So, and then to hear these women speak, and with a child even, and dogging men, right? You're going to dog men in front of whether it's a boy or a girl. You got a young girl and a young boy, and they're learning this indirectly from you. So the boy is being raised as a beta. Because, okay, let's reverse the roles, right? Let's say your child, your young boy, okay? You give your young boy $1 million. How would you vision your son's choice in a woman with that $1 million? He should just go and give that away? Why do you ask that of me when you've done nothing? I should just give it to you? No. You ain't earned nothing. You ain't proved nothing to me. I don't know you. And suddenly you think that... That's like one I had tell me, well, all she's got to do is find a rich man to take care of her the rest of her life. Well, all I just need to find a rich man. I said, and then what? Because really, then what? You found one, okay. What have you done to keep him? What can you do? What do you bring to the table? But yet, that's what you want, right? I ought to just call this Slim Pickins, because that's what it is. I mean, these women, their outlook is so superficial. It is so outside the realm of reality. It's like, ain't worth it. Now, I could have gotten married 3 times and I should have to 1. I didn't. See, try to understand this, okay? Men have control of the relationship if you're an alpha. Women have control of the sex. So because you chose poorly and you decided to have 2, 3, 4 children, now you expect me to raise these children? I don't know you, nor your children, nor your ex. And I know it's not an ex-husband, because like only 1 in 4 women get married. So it's like, you know, that ain't gonna fly. So the 3 that I could have married, the one that I should have, I did not value myself high enough, knowing the type of childhood I had growing up. I could not provide that for a child. So now I can. So I can afford to be selective. I could not raise that child, so I chose not to. And each of those 3, they were married with a child within a year. All 3 of them. All 3 of them. Where are they now? Divorced. I asked one, I said, why did you leave your ex? You know, because you got tired of him. You got tired of him. Wow. I had another one where I mentioned the thought of a prenuptial agreement. And you know what this broad said to me? She said, why do you want to ruin a relationship before it begins? Thank you for saying that. Really, thank you for saying that. Because what my mother and father built and what I have built the moment I were to get married, suddenly you earn 50% of that? No. No. And these women who are single and dating, right? And they get a gift from a man. You're not entitled to that at all. Man can call that back in a court of law so fast it's not even funny. Like I was hearing of this one where her boyfriend at the time leased a Mercedes and a nice apartment. It's like $5,000 a month. $5,000. And you do nothing, but yet because it was a gift to you because you were dating, you feel that you were used to that lifestyle, so then you should get 3 months, 6 months, a year after that paid for? $5,000 a month? No, it's over. Nothing is in your name. Legally, you don't have a leg to stand on. You got nothing. And I wouldn't do that to start with. I just flat out wouldn't. It's not worth that to me. And it's like an epidemic. You know, to hope and to pray for a diamond in a rough, for a needle in a haystack to all of a sudden find you. And then because you deserve it, but you bring nothing to the table, you have no assets, you have no concept of money. You can't even have a checking account because they won't even allow you to have a checking account because you bounced it so many times. I run a tight ship, you know? I cut my expenses to nothing. I went and did a job that no one would do, and I saved every single dollar of that, and I invested that. All of it. I busted my ass. It was the only thing I could get. And you want me to just give that to you? No. No, it don't work that way. So just a warning for you men who are in crypto and say you hit a home run like I did, and then you get out here and you start looking. It's like, what can you do? What can you do? What do you bring to the table? Your personality. That don't pay the bills. Or do you live at home with your parents, right? I'm just floored, y'all. Maybe I should go looking around the 26 to 29-year-olds. Because I still get out and dance and have a good time, and I can go do all of that. But really, I'm not looking for a child. But the way that these women are now is just warped. It's just warped. I mean, some of y'all know I out in Dallas, I ended up, I got 3 young girls out on the dance floor, just me. I mean, that was fun, you know, but same thing. I wasn't looking for anything. I wasn't looking to go home with them. They were trying to get my phone number and different stuff, and I wasn't there for any of that. I just like to go out and have a good time, you know? And on some of these dating apps, it's like, look, that's all I'm looking for, is to go out and have a good time and maybe go eat lunch somewhere, go enjoy the day together, but they start up with this me stuff, and it's, yeah, and then, trying to lay down rules, and it's like, look, I just met you, and I don't see the value there to do any of that. Like, try to tell me that you want to save yourself for marriage. No sex until marriage. You bumped your fucking head. You got 2 kids, and you want to say no sex until marriage? Like I said, right? Name me any product that gets better or increases in value with age and use. And then your mind's already warped. I don't know what psych drugs you're on, or recreational drugs, right? And women have control of sex. They do. They can tell you, no means no, and to wear a condom. Now, whether you give in or not to not wearing a condom, that's your choice. You end up with a child, that's your choice. You decided to lay down with that man. But to hear some of these things being said in front of these children is just blowing my mind. Even in front of this young girl, young lady. You already warping her mind, telling her that all men are dogs, all men are trash. No. Maybe because your choices have not been the best, maybe that's all that you attract, because you get what you are. I'm just floored. I'm floored. I mean, I just wanted to go out and have a good time. I wasn't expecting all of this. I just wasn't. I think you're crazy. I mean, I can go do what I want, when I want. Why I want to give that up for you? When you can't even go outside the country, right? And I own firearms, so this ain't gonna work. And then, I hadn't even run a background check on you yet. I don't know what your FICO score is yet. I didn't even get anywhere near that point, right? Because I do. That tells a lot. That tells me a lot. Why do you think I run a background check and a credit score on every tenant I have in rental property? Because that gives me an indication of the future of your responsibility. So look, I don't know. I don't. It's just, I paid for these different services, and it's like, wow. Automatically every woman out there is an 8. And you're not interested in a man unless he earns more than $100,000 a year. Why is that? Maybe I should reverse the roles here. Maybe I should say I'm not interested in you. If you don't earn $100,000 a year, I'm not interested in you unless you have no children. And I'm not interested in you unless you are not a felon, a convict, a drug addict, an alcoholic, anything. I mean, it's slim pickings. Like I said, at best, you might be average. And suddenly you think you're an 8. No. No, I bow to no man, especially a woman. So look, I don't know where else to go with this. I'm just floored. I had to come out here and just say this, I guess. It's like I've been out the game so long. It's like this ain't even worth my damn time, really. These women just want you to give up everything? For what? For good sex? I mean, and we ain't even got to that point yet. I don't know who you are in the bedroom. So, that's rather demanding. You know, it's just, that ain't gonna fly. So look, I guess that's about it. I'm just ranting and raving because I just ain't never come across this before. I mean, maybe it's different where, hey, what's up? Maybe it's different where you at. I don't know, but I don't see that. Not in this day and age. It seems to be a lot of men bashing. It seems to be a lot of stereotypes. It seems to be a lot of Me Too. It seems to be a lot of selfishness and not realistic. So, anyway, look, that's it. Y'all be cool. Later.